I killed my starter. Is my sourdough journey over? Of course not. Let's not be so dramatic. It's not that serious. But I did forget to feed my starter after I made my last loaf of bread. And let's just say it's been over a week and it was left on my counter. I don't leave very much starter in my jars. I usually just feed my starter enough to make a loaf. So let me show you what my jar looks like. Yeah, we ain't baking with that. So let me see what we can do. I have this jar of discard in my fridge. So I'm going to show you just how easy it is to make a new starter from the discard that you already have. It's easy peasy. The first time I've killed my starter, I do have some experience on how long it will take to get the discard turned into a starter that we can actually bake with. It is quite runny, as you can see, very liquidy. And I always, even I take a starter that is fresh out of the fridge, I like to feed it at least twice before I bake with it. Since this is discard and it's been in the fridge for a while, it's probably going to take 3, maybe 4 feedings before I'm comfortable baking with it, before it's nice and thick and bubbly. But we are just gonna do this together and see just how long it takes. And I just want you to know that if this happens to you, don't fret. Don't think your sourdough journey is over, because it's not. It's just flour and water. It's no big deal. So I know that it's going to be fed 2 or 3 times. I don't want to waste a lot of flour on something that I'm not going to bake with. So I'm only going to feed this. I'm going to do a 1-1-1 ratio, but I am only going to use 20 grams of each. So I'm not wasting flour. So I have got my jar. I just need to grab my scale. The best instrument for sourdough is definitely a kitchen scale. So I'm going to take my clean jar. I'm going to sit this nasty cruddy jar off to the side to be cleaned later. And I am going to measure out 20 grams of my discard. Okay, that's 22, but that's okay. I want to clear this out and add 20 grams of flour. I'm probably going to make a mess with this. Yep, there we go. And I said I didn't want to waste flour. All right, 21. Let me remove all the flour from the scale so it measures it correctly. I have 20 grams of discard and 20 grams of flour. Now I feed my starter with unbleached all-purpose flour, but I always bake with unbleached bread flour. So let me turn my scale back on. And we'll do 20 grams, at least 20 grams to start with. Okay, well, we're a little over. It's 23, but that's okay. All right, let's give this a good stir. And since I would like to bake bread at some point this weekend, at least Sunday afternoon or at the latest Monday, because we're out, I'm going to be feeding this every 12 hours. Alright, that looks good. I'm going to wipe down the sides. And this is what we have right now, just a little bit in the jar. I'm going to mark it so I can see if it doubles or not. Mark it on here, And I'm going to cover it and sit it on my stove or on top of my fridge where it's warmer. And I don't know if you all have seen these at your local dollar store, but these are so handy. I don't like to use like the mason jar lids because it does need some air to breathe, and I feel like these allow that. These are just little, well, I tore that one, so I'm gonna have to grab another one out of the bag. But these are just little disposable bowl covers, and they are perfect for your sourdough starter. I'm going to sit this in a warm spot, and then we'll be back in 12 hours to see if it's risen and feed it again. See you later. Hey, welcome back. It's been almost 12 hours since we fed our starter this morning, and as you can see, it has not risen very much at all, which is to be expected because it was a discard out of the fridge and it was cold. I didn't let it come to room temperature before I fed it, so it had all kinds of things working against it, but we are going to get this going again. I fed it 20 grams of water this morning, as well as 20 grams of unbleached all-purpose flour, and we didn't get much rise, so I'm going to feed it a little bit more tonight. There's not enough to have to discard, so I'm just going to feed it 40 and 40 tonight. I'm going to turn my scale on. I'm going to drop 40 grams of flour in here. You may have just enough. Yep, I think I probably have just enough. Okay. And of course I forgot my water, so I'll be right back. I just wanted to hop on for a second and say, look at this. It's only been about 5 hours, and as you can see, it has already more than doubled. So I thought we were going to have to feed this 4 times after taking the discard out of the fridge and trying to start a new starter with it. But it looks like I'm only going to have to feed it 3 times. And actually, it smells really good. It's bubbly, it's thick. That's just the way I like to bake with it. So I am going to throw a loaf together and I'll bring you along for that. See, don't worry. Even if you think you've killed your starter, if you forgot to feed it, like I said, it's only flour and water and it can always be saved. See you next time. If you want to be a part of my sourdough journey and join this sourdough era with me, please feel free to like and share this video if it's something that you think someone else could benefit from. And don't forget to leave me some comments. Actually, drop me some comments on the type of sourdough that you like to make and if you've started your sourdough journey yet. And please subscribe to the channel. I'll see you next time. Thanks.